Hello, everyone. I'm James. Welcome back to Easy English for You. Today, I want to thank our newest member, Anji4654, for supporting our channel. You're helping us reach millions of English learners worldwide. And speaking of worldwide, let me introduce my wonderful friend, Alice.
Hi, everyone. It's great to see you all again.
Alice, last time we talked about remembering vocabulary using emotions and personal stories. How's that going for you?
Actually, really well. I connected the word anxious to how I felt before my job interview last month. Now I can't forget that word.
That's exactly how it should work. See, everyone? Alice is proving our methods work. Now, Alice, you mentioned a job interview. That actually connects perfectly to today's topic.
Oh, really? What are we talking about today?
Well, you tell me. What's the biggest worry on your mind right now about work and the future?
Honestly, James, I'm scared. My company just started using AI for customer emails. 3 people in my department lost their jobs last month. I keep thinking, will I be next?
And that fear is exactly what millions of people feel right now. But here's something interesting. The people who lost their jobs, what did they do every day?
They answered the same questions over and over, like, where is my order? Or, how do I reset my password?
Bingo. Repetitive tasks. Now let me ask you something. At your job, do you only answer repetitive questions?
No, sometimes customers are really angry or confused. I need to calm them down and understand their real problem. AI can't do that yet, right?
Right. And that's the golden key everyone needs to understand. AI is incredibly smart at patterns, but terrible at unusual situations. Let me tell you a crazy story. My friend is a chef in a fancy restaurant in New York. Last year, the owner bought a cooking robot. This robot could make perfect pasta, perfect steak, perfect everything.
Oh no, did your friend lose his job?
That's what everyone thought would happen, but something unexpected occurred. One night, a customer came in with a strange request. She was allergic to 12 different ingredients. The robot couldn't handle it. Its program didn't have that combination. But my friend, he created a completely new dish in 20 minutes. The customer cried because it was so delicious.
So the robot couldn't adapt.
Exactly. And now the restaurant uses both. The robot makes standard dishes quickly. My friend creates special experiences for unique situations. He became more valuable, not less.
That's a relief. But James, not everyone can be creative, like a chef.
Ah, that's where most people are wrong, Alice. Everyone is creative. We just killed our creativity in school.
What do you mean?
Think about when you were 7 years old. If I gave you a cardboard box, what would you do with it?
Oh, I'd make it into a castle or a spaceship or a secret hideout.
But if I give you that same box today,
I'd probably just use it to store things. Oh, wow, you're right. I lost my imagination.
not lost, just sleeping. Schools teach us there's only one correct answer. Math problems have one answer. History tests have one answer. So our brains learn to stop exploring other possibilities.
But the real world isn't like that, is it?
Not at all. In real life, most problems have 10 different solutions. Let me give you a business example. Imagine a small coffee shop is losing customers. An AI might say, lower your prices to compete. That's logical based on data.
But that's not the only solution. Maybe they could improve the atmosphere, or offer special drinks, or host community events.
Yes! Alice, you just demonstrated creative thinking. That's the skill that will never become obsolete. Now here's my question for everyone watching. When was the last time you did something creative just for fun? Not for work, not for money, just because you were curious. Share your story in the comments. I want to hear what makes you come alive.
That's a beautiful question, James. For me, I started learning to bake bread during COVID. Nobody asked me to do it. I just wanted to try.
And I bet you failed a few times at first.
Oh my gosh, my first loaf was like a rock. My husband joked that we could use it as a doorstop.
But did you give up?
No, I kept trying. Now I bake every Sunday.
That's the exact mindset we need for the future. Try, fail, learn, improve. AI never fails because it only does what it's programmed to do. Humans fail all the time, and that's our superpower.
Wait, failing is a superpower? That sounds crazy.
Let me explain with another story. Thomas Edison tried 10,000 different materials before he invented the light bulb. A reporter asked him, how did it feel to fail 10,000 times? Edison said, I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways that don't work.
Oh, I love that.
That attitude is what separates humans from machines. AI cannot learn from unexpected failures. It needs humans to reprogram it when something goes wrong. So the real question isn't, will AI take my job? The real question is, am I willing to try new things and fail?
Okay, but James, this all sounds great in theory, but practically, what should people do tomorrow?
Excellent question. Here are 3 simple actions. First, spend 30 minutes each week learning something completely unrelated to your job. Learn origami, study astronomy, practice juggling, anything that makes your brain work differently.
Why does it have to be unrelated to work?
Because that's how you build new neural connections. Steve Jobs took a calligraphy class in college. It seemed useless at the time, but years later, those beautiful fonts became one of Apple's biggest advantages. He connected 2 unrelated things, art and technology.
So we're training our brains to see connections.
Exactly. Second action, practice explaining complex things simply. If you can't explain something to a child, you don't really understand it. This skill is crucial because AI gives complex answers. Humans need to translate those answers into actions.
What's the third action?
Ask why and what if every single day. Why do we do things this way? What if we tried something different? Children ask why 300 times a day. Adults ask it maybe 3 times. We need to become curious again.
These are such simple actions, but I can see how powerful they are.
Simple doesn't mean easy, Alice. The hardest part is giving yourself permission to explore, permission to waste time on useless things, permission to look foolish while learning.
You know what? I think many parents need to hear this too, not just for themselves, but for their children.
Absolutely. Parents often schedule every minute of their child's day. Piano at 3 p.m., math tutoring at 5 p.m., swimming at 7 p.m. But when does the child learn to think independently?
Never, I guess.
And those children grow up unable to make decisions without instructions. They become perfect employees for yesterday's world. But tomorrow's world needs people who can create their own instructions.
This is making me rethink everything about education and career planning.
Good. That means you're thinking, not just accepting. Let me summarize the core idea. We're entering an age where knowledge alone has no value. AI knows everything. It can access all human knowledge in 1 second. AI cannot care about the outcome. It cannot feel responsibility. It cannot make ethical choices. Those uniquely human abilities will become the most valuable skills.
So we need to focus on being more human, not more like machines.
Beautifully said, Alice. Now, before we end, let me tell you about next week's topic. We'll explore by versus until in English. For example, I'll finish this by Friday versus I'll work on it until Friday. These two words confuse millions of learners. If you have questions about by and until, drop them in the comments right now.
Yes, please. Your questions help us create better lessons for everyone.
And if you want today's lesson in a clear PDF format, join our membership.
Those PDFs are seriously helpful. I review them every week.
Your membership also supports free content for millions of learners who can't afford paid courses. Please subscribe and hit the like button if today's lesson helped you think differently.
Let me quickly summarize what we learned. AI is changing the job market, but humans have unique advantages. Creativity, adaptation, and learning from failure are our superpowers. We should explore new interests, explain things simply, and ask questions constantly. And most importantly, we need to give ourselves permission to be human, not perfect.
Perfect summary, Alice. Remember, everyone, your career might change 5 times in your lifetime. That's not scary, that's exciting. Each change is a chance to discover new parts of yourself. Listen to this episode multiple times to train your ears for natural English conversation. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep going and keep growing.